What's up, you guys? I'm Christina Sheree. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button while we're talking, or while I'm talking to you rather. And if you're returning, it's always good to see you. You know, I'm popping up something right now, and I'd love it if you guys go ahead and head on over to Instagram. Check me out. I'm trying to really build a channel here and a following there. They go hand in hand, and you know, I post things in between the videos. I also post additional looks of the videos that you can see a little bit better. So head on over there. That would be nice. Thank you. Well, today is kind of a get ready with me, even though I'm already ready. I figured, you know what, I wanted to do a video that kind of just goes through all the products that I use every day. And as I started to pull them out, I'm like, wow, I kind of use a lot. I always think I'm getting ready pretty fast. Nah, I think I'm just getting better at using these products. But, so yeah, today is all about that. I'm going to walk you through the products that I use from sit down to stand up and walk out. Okay, so diving right in, sometimes I wake up in the morning and my skin seems to be pretty dry. I don't drink as much water as I should, but, you know, it's an ongoing thing. But truthfully, when my skin is like that, I love to use this Urban Decay B6. This is a really great vitamin-infused water. And what it does, it just preps your skin. It kind of refreshes it and wakes it up. So in the morning time, if I feel like my skin looks a little bit haggard, this is usually the first thing that I'll just kind of spritz all over and just let it sink in a little bit. The next thing I do is I use a moisturizer. Now you can use any moisturizer. I fell in love with this Tatcha water cream. Now this one is a bit pricey, and I just really use a little bit. I usually just dab a little bit on my cheeks, on my forehead and chin, and just rub it in. So I probably use the amount that could fit on a pinky, the tip of my pinky here. I don't use a lot because it's really good. It kind of just, as soon as you put it in your skin, you start to rub it in, and it feels like these water beads are just releasing on your skin. And I find that for me, I have combination skin, so it really works well. It doesn't make my skin feel too greasy. It also gives me a bit of moisture that I need, so I find that works really well for me. This next product is my holy grail. Like, I don't say that a lot, really rarely ever, but this product here, this First Light Primer by Becca, this is miracle unicorns and fairies in a bottle. I love this stuff. What it does is, I should probably back up. I don't wear foundation, so I like to have something that's pretty light and natural on my skin. I mean, I do use concealer, and I'll go into that, but for the most part, I don't like too much on my skin. And what this does is it's a nice thin layer, and it really just balances out all the tones in your skin. I do kind of go through this a bit more. I usually use about 2 pumps of this and put it all over my skin, and it just kind of gives me this nice, really glow, this subtle glow, and I love this product. Next, I'll either use one of 2 things, and they pretty much do the same thing. They're just very different price ranges. But what they'll do is, it's another primer, and what it does is it will kind of give you a soft focus effect where it blurs your pores a little bit. So I'll either use the Optical Illusion by Urban Decay and mix this with that Becca First Light, and then just kind of rub it into my skin. This works really well. Or I don't use them both, or I will use my Tatcha Silk Canvas. Now this stuff, it is a bit pricey, but it will last you, I don't know if you can see this, probably not. It will last you forever. You literally just need the smallest amount, and then you rub it in your skin and just let it sit and sink in there for a little bit, and it gives you the smoothest effect. It is one of the best primers out there. If you don't want to invest in Tatcha, I find that Urban Decay works really well too. Next, what I do is I like a little subtle glow. Like, I like to just kind of have the light catch my skin, and it looks just really healthy and flush. But I do battle with having pretty large pores in this area. So the next thing I do is I'll use one of 2 sticks, either this one or the other one. If I want something that gives me kind of a little bit of a luminous glow, I'll use this Milk, I think it's actually called Luminous Glow Stick. Can't see it on here, but this is one where it kind of, what it will do is it will still kind of blur your pores, but it actually has these little glitters in it. It's not glitters where it's going to catch on your pores and just kind of emphasize them, but it still has a smoothing effect. I kind of call it my dewy matte trick, where my skin still looks matte, but it has a bit of a dewy shine. This is like miracle in a stick. So if I want that glow, I'll use this one. If I just want to mattify my pores even more, I'll just in this area here and right here, I'll use the non-luminous version of the Milk Stick. So this one here. Now the next thing I'll do is I don't use foundation, but I do use concealer. And my favorite concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Deep. And I'll just put this under my eyes a little bit here to kind of give it a bit of a highlight right here, and just a little bit right here. And my favorite brush to use for that, I love this Marc Jacobs brush here. I got this such a long time ago when I was just getting into makeup. And I don't know how I came across this one. I love this brush. This is my favorite brush ever. It has a nice flat edge here where you can just kind of pack it in, and then it also has this, I don't know if you can see that, smooth edge right there. So you can use either side, and these are my tricks to get rid of the bags, to smooth the concealer on, and to kind of even more so even out the tones in my skin and conceal. Now the next thing I'll use is, I love this company called Vega Lash. They have a couple of different products. They have one that will, you can put on your eyebrows to make your eyebrows grow. They have one where you can put on your lashes to make your lashes grow. And this is the thicker and fuller multitasking primer. This just really will moisturize my lashes, and I like to put this on probably at this step in my routine just so that it sits on my lashes and they have some time to kind of soften and just be moisturized. So I love using this. I've used this for a really long time. If I can find the website, I will link it in the description box below. Now while my lashes are being moisturized and my concealer's had just enough time to sort of sit without getting cakey, I use this Anastasia loose setting powder in the color Deep Peach. This stuff just takes away any oil. Just as soon as you put it on, it's like whoosh, it's just gone. Just found this stuff this year. I was using the Huda Beauty setting powder or baking powder, but as soon as I found this one, this is all I use. I love this stuff. So this is the one that I use here in Deep Peach. And I'll just kind of, what I do with this one actually is, I don't like a lot of powder. I don't bake or anything like that. I use my Anastasia A23 brush, and I'll just dip it in and literally just set it here like this very lightly, and then just brush it away. Just a very, very thin layer of powder. So under my eyes, right over here, and right down here. And this does wonder. It sets my concealer, and it also takes away any additional shine that's just kind of sitting on my face in the T-zone. So love these two things every day. Now for my brows, what I do is I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. Now there's two colors. I have deep brown and I have ebony. I find that when I film, I use ebony. It just makes it a little bit darker so it translates better on camera. And then just during my normal day, I use deep brown, dark brown. It's still dark, but it's just not as dark as ebony, so it's just slightly natural drawn on eyebrow look, if that's a thing. And my favorite my favorite brush to use, because it's got a really nice edge, but it's also thin enough. I love the Anastasia number 12. So this is the one that I use with my Anastasia Dip Brow. Another product that I was using before I discovered this, like a couple of weeks ago, is I actually really like the NYX, what color is this? NYX Espresso. This stuff is really, really good. I mean, it's waterproof, just like this one here, just like the Anastasia one. It's a lot cheaper, and the color is warmer. This espresso is much warmer than this. I really switched to this just because I was going through this a lot, to be truthful, and like a lot. And I find that with this one, I barely have scratched the surface, and I've been using it now for a few weeks. So it was a little bit more out the gate, but it's going to last me a lot longer. So I kind of did this a bit out of order. Sorry about that. After I put the B6 on my face, I like to exfoliate my lips and then put on a moisturizer to just kind of have the moisture just sitting in there. And so what I've been using lately is this Fresh Sugar lip polish. This stuff here, this is really good. I was using the MAC one, vanilla, I think. That's one of my favorites. I love that one too. But I started using this just to try something different. So I'll use this to, scrub my lips, polish them right before I start my routine. And then I'll use the Bite Agave lip mask. This stuff is insane. It just moisturizes your lips. This one is the original, so it has no color. But then recently I actually branched into this one here, which I believe is called Champagne. And all this one will do is just give it a little bit of a pinkier glow, whereas this one is just moisturizing your lips. But in any case, I'll use one of these to just put it on my lips and have my lips be moisturized while I'm going through the rest of my routine. So back to my face. After I've done my setting powder under my eyes, after I've set the concealer, what I like to do is to go in, if I have time, I will do a light contour, and for that I find that the Fenty espresso stick, this one here, is perfect. All I do is just a little line here and here under my chin, a little bit here, and just buff it in, and it gives me, I don't use a lot actually, it gives me a nice natural contour, and it's just, I find that it's subtle, but it just gives me a little bit of definition. And again, I do this if I have time, which isn't very often in the morning because I actually love to sleep. Yeah. So, if I've had time and I've done the concealer and I've done the contour, then the next thing that I do is I like to actually set my face before before I do anything else, and I just have this battle with my T-zone again. I like a matte look. I don't really like to be too dewy, because for me I find that line between dewy and oily is very thin, so I'm always doing the matte thing, because by the end of the day or even the middle of the day, the natural dew, aka oil, in my skin starts to come out, but by that time it actually does look like a subtle glow versus hot oily mess. So for that I actually use my Too Faced Peach Mist, this mattifying setting spray. Forgive me, my beauty blender is dirty, but I'll show you what I do. I like this one because it has a flat edge, and actually what I do is I'll actually just shake it and spray it on the beauty blender, and then I'll go ahead and just pat it in, and I find that what that does is it actually smooths the skin even more, and it mattifies because I've pressed it in and it's targeted versus just spraying it all over my face and then kind of doing the fan with the finger thing. It could be the right thing to do as far as beauty rules. I don't know the rules, so if I'm breaking it, whatevs. But for me, I find that works really, really well. Okay, so this is if I'm just doing kind of the bare necessities. So the face, a little bit of contour, and then if I'm just maybe doing a wing. My favorite product, I actually like NYX for a lot of things. A little side note, I find that I love eyeshadow palettes, and I have a range as far as what the costs were, but for the things I use every day, I don't want to break the bank, so I like to really look to see if I can find cheaper alternatives for things that I'm going to use all the time. Like, for example, I was using the NYX espresso brow gel, but then I realized I was actually just running through that just like crazy, so then I switched to the Anastasia, which is a little bit more, but overall it's actually going to save me money. So I said all that to say, for eyeliner, I use the NYX matte liquid liner when I'm doing a wing. Sorry for the noise there. I love this wand. This wand is so good. It actually is very flexible, and it's actually easy to use to draw the line that you want on your face. The only downside to this is it's not going to be super saturated. You'll get a dark line, don't get me wrong, but you will have to probably go over it a little bit more because the formula is a bit thinner. I did branch out and try the Huda Beauty one. Now, this one is good. It's thick, it's dark, it's got a great tip on it. Let me see if I can show you. You gotta twist, not pull, right? This one here. But if you saw the difference, this wand is much thicker. And if I don't have a lot of time, this one can turn into a hot mess really, really quickly because you put it on and it has to set. Otherwise it'll transfer, and before you know it, your wing is like half of your face because you're trying to fix it. This just costs me more time in the morning than not, so my default ride or die, again, this is a ride or die, is my NYX matte liquid liner. Love this stuff. Okay, so if I don't have a lot of time to actually contour, but I want, just a little bit of shade, I find that I'll use a bronzer. And I just started using this Fenty Caramel Cutie bronzer. Oh, that's so reflective and upside down. This one is a nice subtle shade that you can actually build up. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah. It looks pretty light when you see it on your screen and in the monitor, but the color I love a lot because, again, I can build it and make it even more pronounced or just the most subtle wash of color on my face. So this gives me the range, and I really like this one. And I'll use this if I don't have a lot of time and don't really want to contour or anything like that. So the last step and the most recent step in my routine here, and I say most recent because this actually just came out. Again, anything that's going to give me a very, very light, natural looking glow where it's just when the light catches it, I love. I really don't like to just bling into the stratosphere. That's just not personally my vibe on an everyday basis. So again, I find things that will just give me that natural glow. And actually, I know this person has a lot of controversy, and the very first product they launched was just beyond hot mess. But this one here, this luminous powder in the color Brilliant by Jaclyn Cosmetics, this stuff is really, really good. I mean, if you watch reviews, a lot of people will say that this particular product in her highlighting line doesn't do that much. But again, if you're going for something that's really going to be pronounced, no, it won't. If you're going for something that's just going to give you that overall just nice, healthy glow, this stuff is really good. I've been using it now for about a week, and it's now part of my everyday. So this Jaclyn Hill Brilliant Loose Powder, I really like it, and the color Brilliant. And if I'm doing just kind of the bare minimum and running out, make it look like I did a little bit more than I did, I like to bring it all together with a nude lip. So the look that I have right now, or the lip I have right now, is kind of my default. And what it is I love this Date Night Lip Liner Pencil. It's just a really nice brown from Morphe. I love this pencil. This one kind of goes with everything. And I'll use it with another Morphe product, the Shady Lipstick. Here, you're not going to really be able to see it, but I'll try. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. And I'll put this on and then just blend it in. And then what I'll do is, just to give it kind of a bit more of a taupier hue to it and a bit of a shine, I use this That's Cool gloss by Dose of Colors. It smells so good. So this one here. And I just dot it on in the center and then just pat it on with my fingers, and I'm good. Actually, those three products, I don't keep a makeup bag with me on the daily, but I do have a lippy bag that has like a nude, a red, a brown, I think a pink, and an inner corner highlight pencil. But that aside, those three things usually go with me. So to give my cheeks just a bit more of a flush of color, I love to use the NARS Orgasm Blush. Now, you can get it as a single, you can get it in liquid. This happens to be a palette that has a highlighter, a bronzer, and the blush. The blush is in the middle, and I mostly just use the blush. And I'll just kind of run it, wash it over my cheeks, and it just nice little rosy. I think you can see it now. Maybe you can't tell. Subtle blush-ish thing happening. So when I'm doing my lashes, admittedly the lashes take the longest in my entire routine. I'm trying to get better, but I just go all obsessive with them. Yeah, I know. But anyways, so what I use for my lashes, this I really like a lot. Again, if I'm looking for something that I know I'm going to use every single day, I try to find the most economical but yet really good product to use. And I find that this L'Oreal Voluminous Primer, it just does wonders. I love it. You put it on, it's white once it starts to the white disappears, then it's time to go ahead and put on your mascara. And for mascara, I use the Damn Girl mascara by Too Faced. I have a love-hate relationship with this thing. It makes my lashes just go boom, and they stay, and they're flipping fantastic. Love it. The hate part of the relationship with this is when you go to get this off, I don't care how good your oil primer or oil cleanser is or whatever you do, you're going to be wiping the heck because it will smudge or it will just, it's a mess. You just got to focus on getting it off. But the payoff during the day is you really freaking great lashes. So, love-hate relationship, still sticking with it, my Damn Girl mascara by Too Faced. And this is one I'm just trying out. This is this Tightline It Cosmetics. I'm really trying to master the lower lash. I told you guys, I have a thing with lashes. I'm really trying to master the lower lash and without it looking clumpy. And this wand here is so thin. I find that it works to get in there and get the lashes. However, it doesn't make it dark enough. It does separate them really well. So I'll go in and separate them with this and then just very lightly kind of go over it a little bit with the Damn Girl. So I'll get the separation and the length from this small wand, but then I'll get the darkness from this. Told you guys, it's a process. Me and lashes, man. Anyway. Okay, so those are the products that I use on a daily. These are everything that I do if I'm just doing a really quick minimal look. As far as makeup goes, as you can tell, there are a lot of products for like the face and the, you know, coming together of things. But the only thing that people really see is the liner, the brows of course, and the lashes. The behind the scenes stuff, all the face stuff, a lot of products. But for the most part, this is what I use every single day in the morning. Yeah. Well, thank you for spending time with me. I really hope you got some good information out of this video. I hope it helped you in some way. If you liked the video, please go ahead and leave a thumbs up. And again, if you're new, perfect time to go ahead and subscribe. And again, I'm going to tell you guys about something that's popping up, my Instagram. I won't go into the spiel again, but really for the most part, I would love it if you go ahead and subscribe to me here and follow me there. I'm trying to build an audience and a family on both. So, enough? Enough of that. Well, thank you guys for spending time again. I really enjoy doing these videos. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thank you again. Bye.